Alright fellas, here's a topic that's really up for debate in many ways. I've got my personal Husky 572 and I've got the Stihl 500i demo saw that I picked up from the local shop that I buy my parts and stuff from, my saws. And the reason I have this is not to do this video. It's because I like having two saws. I like going to work with two saws sharp. I like powerful saws. And I've been waiting for parts for this so-called piece of junk for quite a while now. So the shop that I deal with basically said I can have this demo saw until my parts come for this saw. Now this saw got 40 hours on it. It's a 592 XP. And the motor's completely fucked in it, completely cooked. And they told me I straight gassed it, which I'm sorry, but I own a multitude of two-stroke motor items, and trust me, this saw was not straight gassed. It had the mixed gas, and it was halfway through the tank when it blew up. Quite sure the fuel's still in it when it blew up. Looks pretty blue to me. So we'll get away from that. I've already done a video on that saw. Check it out, what happened and stuff. But I'm going to talk about the comparison between these two top of the line saws, your Stihl 500i and this Husky 572. I'm going to start off by saying, yeah, I'm a Husky guy, always have been. But my recent experience with this saw, I'm actually not sure if I'm going to give Husky another $2,000 or $1,500 for a top-of-the-line saw after my experience with them. My next saw may actually be one of these, who knows. But for the time being, I grabbed this saw on Wednesday, the Stihl, and I got a 10-cord pile of wood that I have to junk. So I figured I'd try the demo saw out in that. And right away I'll say I run this 572 all the time. This is my logging saw. This is what I go in the woods with. Because this one's blown up, I've been junking all my firewood with the 572. So this is my go-to saw when I'm doing most types of work. And I'm used to the power, I'm used to the way it handles. One thing I'll say about the 5 Series Huskies is for the power they have and the chain speed and all that, the kickback is really moderated and not violent. They're honestly both great working saws. What I gotta say is, for not being a Stihl lover and for never using the 500i, the first time I grabbed this saw, I was very surprised at how nice it felt. It's got great power. It's got amazing throttle response. See, this 500i is actually fuel injected with a fuel injector and a high pressure pump, where this saw is just an electric carburetor with a sensor on it, basically. So the 500i has amazing power, amazing mid-range. It holds its power when you're cutting through big stuff. I'm almost gonna say this 500i has a little bit more power than the 572. The 500i, you can definitely hear the air system pulls a lot more air in than the 572. Again, the fuel injected throttle response, you know, when you're junking wood, you're going from piece to piece to piece. The trigger's right there. I put 6 tanks through this saw so far, and I never ever once heard a when I hit the trigger. As soon as this saw starts up, it's just pure performance. Now, I did find that you don't get near the tank time out of this saw, and they actually told me when they give me this saw that it's hard on gas. Well, I don't think I'd quite go as far as saying it's hard on gas, and I didn't take the time to actually measure what this tank holds compared to the Husky, but I'm quite sure this still has a smaller tank onto it. The starting procedure is a little bit different for the 500i. There's no choke. You just hit this primer ball 5-6 times, give it a pull, away it goes. Where the old Husky, you got a choker, wait for the kick. When it kicks, take the choke off and away it goes. But man, I gotta really say that I'm super impressed with this 500i, especially being a Husky guy and being used to Huskies. But if only Stihl could get the kickback figured out like Husky did. The kickback on this 500i is major way worse than the 572. If you got that thing turning up and you get the tip into something, it's got a pretty violent little kick to it. But that being said, I mean, any of these big saws are going to have violent kick to them. They're not small saws. I really don't know what else to say. They're, like I say, they're both top of their line, top of their class. There's no big difference in weight between them. Honestly, if anything, I think the 500i, there's not really enough weight difference that you can even feel picking them up with your hand. But I will say that when I was running the 500i, I put 4 tanks through it there on Saturday morning, and it didn't play my arms out at all. I think my 572 actually put more strain on my arms when I was running it than the 500i did. But they are very close, guys. I mean, there's not enough difference there that I'm going to say, oh, this one's way better than this one, or vice versa. These saws are literally both right there in the same category. No major difference. But you know, again, I'm not a Stihl guy, but I was very impressed with this thing when I used it. It feels great in your hands. It cuts fast. I would probably say that the 500i, when you're in a real big piece of wood, it does hold its power a little better than this 572 does. But you know, let's take into consideration the 500i is a little bit bigger, and it is truly fuel injected. So you know, we're basically comparing apples to apples here, but the 500i is a little bit more, let's say, advanced and on a little bit different engine tuning level than the 572 is. But again, if you buy either one of these saws, I don't think you're going to be upset with either one that you buy. They both work friggin' great. So we'll just do a start up here and show you the sound comparison between the two, just to say I did. Hopefully there's some gas in this, which there's not. Let's see if it'll start anyway. I don't think there's any gas in this one either. I'm sure you could hear just from that little startup though. The 500i got a way different air intake sound. You can hear it just bump bump. So a little bit different sounding machines, but again, both of these things work friggin' amazing. So I'm not going to tell you one's better than the other in this video. I'm just going to tell you that either one of these saws are a great application if you got to cut big nasty wood and you want a comfortable saw in your hands. They'll both do the job. So to finish this off, I just want to say that I've got over 200 hours on my 572 since I bought it. Not sure what's on this 500i because it's a demo saw, but I do know a few guys that bought these the same time when they first come out. And I had one guy tell me he had problems with the oiler, but still warranted it, no issues, blah blah blah. And just want to throw a huge shout out to Colin Hughes' Diesel for, you know, giving me this saw that's worth, you know, almost $2,000 to use until they're able to get the parts to fix this one for me. So huge shout out to Colin Hughes' Diesel Enterprises. They're a great bunch of guys down there to chat with and deal with and share saw information with, and tree stories and all that sort of stuff. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe.